Yo, what is up, everybody? This is Robert Jackson, and thank you for tuning in to Station Square. And I don't really have anything to add to that, so I'm just gonna say thank you for joining. And yeah, hope everyone is doing well and they're doing the best they can in the midst of these crazy times and whatnot. But um, yeah, you just kind of want to hear me chat with this lovely guest in the corner. We have Miss Morgan Berry. Thank you for joining me on this lovely evening.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime. So, yeah, since we're now at the last day of April, wow, I can't believe May is almost already.
It's gonna be
Like,
May soon.
I know, like, no, for real. I literally remember like it was just January. We were just getting ready for the new year, and now it is like May. So time just goes by so fast. Like when you start getting a little more, I guess, older, mature, or like if you've been working like on a bunch of different stuff all at once, it's kind of like, wow, my day has been, it's already over. I just woke up at like 8 or 9 this morning, and it's like,
Yep.
wow, it's 7. So it do be crazy, but enough about me. Let's talk about you. But yeah, usually I would start with what got you started with blah blah blah, but I kind of want to ask you specifically, was or actually let's talk about what you've been up to because I know like it's 2023 and I know a lot of big stuff has been coming out, so let's get to talk more about what you've been up to lately, where people can hear your work recently and all that good jazz.
Yeah, okay, sure. So I am currently recording for another season of Beyblade. I voice for the protagonist, Belle Dizora. He's something. So that's a lot of fun. So feel free to check that out. It's airing on Disney XD on Saturday mornings. Um, Yeah, so specifically Beyblade Burst Quad Strike, but there's also Beyblade Burst Quad Drive, and that's I think you might be able to check that out on Netflix or maybe Hulu, one of those. I should know this. I believe that Quad Strike is available on Hulu. Of course, the episodes are still coming out. So feel free to check that out. I'm also the lead in an anime called Dead Mount Death Play. What a title.
Yeah.
um, Lots of fun. He's a major edge lord. It's
uh gotta love
yeah,
gotta
it's
get our
it's
edge lords.
it's actually kind of funny how
Yeah.
edgy the show is, but it's also comedic. It's got moments of comedy, and I'm having fun recording for it. That's on Crunchyroll if anyone wants to check that out.
Yeah, we gotta always get we always have our inner edge lords inside of us when we least expect it. So,
Yeah, and my high school emo phase comes back every once in a while.
hey everyone, it's me. It's your boy Robert. Thanks for accepting me.
Thanks for
um, every time. But yeah, but it's funny that you mentioned Netflix and Hulu because streaming services kind of just to jump into like one of the I guess stuff that has been popping up, like what has been kind of, been picking up steam as of late, like streaming, because everybody, like, I know that since we were watching shows on television, I mean, we're still watching Toonami with the shows that are coming out like every Saturday night. Plug. We've been getting like a lot more streaming stuff. Like I said, there's Netflix, Hulu, wherever else that you can.
Max, which formerly
HBO
known as
Max, yes.
HBO Max, but
Oh
now they're
yeah.
just going by
Oh yeah.
Max. It's so stupid.
I know. Oh man, don't even get me started with that. But oh man, it's kind of, yeah. I'll just say that streaming services have definitely been picking up steam, and I'm just like really happy because indie stuff has kind of been like, I definitely noticed that for like indie animations, indie content, anything in between has kind of been like, this is where people have been. I know that a lot of indie animations have been, getting picked up by networks, and it's kind of been, streaming has kind of been, the place where it's very hot right now, so to speak. Um, so I'm just really happy that it's been, gaining more of a momentum over these last few years or so.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, let's just get right to this. So for acting, was it always something that just kind of like, did you get like the acting bug early on, or was there like other, sort of avenues that you kind of dabbled into prior to getting your start into VO full time?
Yeah, I've always loved the performing arts. I loved singing, I loved acting, and I've been doing that since I was a kid, but I stumbled into voiceover after winning a voiceover competition. And that's when I realized, oh, yeah, this is something I could do. Let's see where this goes. And thankfully, it went somewhere, and here I am.
Nice. What was the competition, if you don't mind me asking?
It was at a convention called HaberCon, and it was Todd Habercorn's convention. Yeah, it
Of
was,
course.
yeah, no, it was great. It was a great opportunity. And I honestly didn't expect to win, but it was something I prayed on, honestly, and that worked out. Wow, if I
Yeah.
hadn't have taken that opportunity, I don't know where I'd be in life.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like one of those, okay, I know it's the movie with Robin Williams where it's like Carpe Diem, I think that's the phrase, like seize the opportunity, and I think that's definitely the case with you.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I just bring up Robin every so often because he really was an inspiration, so yeah. I think a lot of, for really for a lot of people, really. But yeah, that was kind of what got your yeah, and then the rest was history. So, would you say that the whole process of doing this full time was it did it take a while, or did it just like it was kind of like
Oh
a
man, it
snowball?
did not pick up. I was booking quite a bit, but the pay used to be really bad. The pay's gotten better,
Hmm.
but for anime, the pay was horrible at the start. So no matter how often I was working, it was not enough to pay rent. So uh I had a good amount of work coming in, but it was I needed a day job.
Oh yeah, totally. I also did a little bit of research, and I noticed that I don't know if it's accurate, but you're from the Riverside area, like California.
Yeah, technically, but I moved to Texas when I was really young, so I don't
Okay.
remember living in California, even though I was born there. And
Okay.
then I
Yeah.
moved there. So, but like growing up, I mainly remember Texas.
Oh yeah. Because I'm actually in California, so I was wondering, like, since I've interviewed like a lot of Texas-based talent, I'm not sure if I really asked this very often, but how's the Texas life? You know?
Uh, Good question. Broad question.
Yeah.
It's more affordable than California, but I'm not a fan of the politics. I believe in separation of church and state. So the fact that they're trying to force Christian ideology, Christian beliefs, Christian everything on everyone, I I don't stand for that. I don't believe in Christian nationalism, forcing your beliefs on someone. That's so wrong. I'm a Christian and I don't believe in forcing my beliefs on someone. That's
Yeah.
awful. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the politics that tend to
Yeah.
um, plague Texas.
Yeah. I don't really discuss politics here on my podcast very often, but I will say this. Um, as somebody who is a fellow Christian, like I do believe, like, you know, how can I put this? Like forcing something on people, like whether it be politics or religion or anything, like especially if you get into like debates or arguments about like, certain ideologies, like everyone's totally different. And if you force one person to just agree or accept with their beliefs or opinions and stuff like that, like rather aggressively, then it never ends well. Trust
Yeah,
me. Like I've been
they
in way too many
literally.
arguments. Like it's like you're standing on a losing battle. Like there's no win-win. It's like what were you like? okay, so you proved something, but at what cost?
Yeah.
Like, you know, yeah.
Yeah, they
um,
literally just passed a law recently that requires every classroom to have the Ten Commandments.
mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
what?
oh man.
And
Oh
prayer
wow.
time apparently, but it's like, okay, well then let them pray to whatever God they worship then. Don't,
Yeah,
it's just insane that they're trying to force their ideals on everyone. That's wrong. That's wrong. So
yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that it do be. Yeah,
It do be
it
that way
gets pretty
sometimes.
crazy. It's crazy, trust me. But yeah, like honestly, that'll be a discussion for another podcast all on its own.
Yeah.
But we're just gonna highlight your career and just share advice and all that good jazz. So yeah, so after you pretty much it took you some time to really start getting known or like getting established and whatnot. I was just, looking at some of your resume, and it is just like, wow, you've been in a lot of shows. Like, you've been in Pokemon, you've been in Dragon Ball, Beyblade, My Hero. List just literally goes on, man. Like, getting to be a part of all these monumental franchises, and I've also said this from time to time, but like, getting to be a part of something that has meant so much to so many people is like I know it's sort of like a surreal experience of getting to be a part of like I know Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and all these One Piece and so on and so forth. Yeah, like does it is it kind of like a surreal feeling to be a part of all of these like properties that a lot of people grew up on and getting to be a part of such a major like influential you know getting to be a part of these really large titles? Like, is it
Yeah,
like a surreal feeling to you?
it is. Especially when it airs on Toonami. I'm like, wow, that's me.
Toonami. Yep.
That's
Yeah.
insane. Like I grew up watching Toonami, so it's really
Oh
cool
yeah.
to it feels surreal. It feels like almost an out of body experience, I guess. Like, is this really happening? It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Not to mention like getting to you know I was also gonna ask. I was gonna also because I was kind of curious because with the pandemic and everything, there's been a lot more remote recording. I mean, there's always been I mean, you usually like record auditions or do all this stuff. I mean, sometimes you can do sessions, from your home, but it's been kind of gaining more of a because after COVID, everybody was kind of forced to, work from home. And I know that if you watch like the documentaries about how dubbing works from home, there's a lot more work that goes into it. So for anybody that says like, um, oh, it seems kind of easy. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because like you have to be your own engineer. You got to do all this extra stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's a whole different can of worms altogether. So,
Oh yeah, I recommend that if you're going to get into voiceover that you learn that you train with someone who's actively working in the voiceover industry in the genre of voiceover that you want to pursue specifically. You don't want to take animation voiceover classes from someone who only books commercials. You need to learn from someone who understands the industry, knows the current trends. And I started coaching voiceover in a few years ago because I want to help people, and I come from an educational background. I taught theater for years, and I am very confident in my ability to educate people on how this industry actually works. So, whoever you choose to learn from, though, make sure they're an actual professional. Um, but yeah, it's oh gosh, this is not something you can just jump into because first impressions matter. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot before it's even in the door. It is so important to learn from someone who can give you a heads up on the do's and don'ts, industry etiquette. That stuff is so important.
yeah, I really wish there were more classes on etiquette. I really do.
I teach on it, just saying.
There you
I
go.
have a whole list.
Oh yes. So what hobbies have you picked up? I know we've been into this thing for like over 3 years. Oh my goodness. But yeah, like what hobbies have you been picking up, like outside of work?
If I'm being honest, I'm a workaholic. So
I
I
literally that is pretty much the response. I did an interview yesterday, and that was kind of the same response I got.
I'm always finding well, okay, in my downtime, I wouldn't say I picked up any new
Downtime.
hobbies, but
Yeah.
in my downtime, I watch Netflix, I snack,
Mm.
uh I chillax. My newest obsession, my previous obsession, media-wise, was Voltron. I loved Voltron: Legendary Defender.
Ooh,
Great series. The
that's an
ending was very
interesting one.
disappointing, but still a great series. Um,
Yeah, pretty
um,
much what I would hear. The
yeah.
general
My
consensus.
newest obsession, however, is Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I love it.
Oh,
I love it so
yo.
much. The show is on Netflix, but also the movie. Make sure you watch the show before you watch the movie. But yeah, Rise, it's my favorite. I love it. It's so
Yeah.
funny. The writing is brilliant. The characters, I love this iteration of those of the turtles. I love them so much. And it's just my newest obsession.
Oh, dude, like, I do think it's funny because if I'm watching something, like, if I watch a show, like, whether it be a cartoon or a movie or something like that, that it's kind of like I usually it's sort of starting to become like a passionate like it's something that's related to work because you get to study, animation and also like, the performances and what genre it is, what style it's being portrayed in, if it's goofy, if it's serious. So like if I'm watching something, it's for work, but also because I'm just genuinely, getting sucked into it. I'm really love when I'm watching, so it's work, but also something that you have fun doing. And that's pretty much why we do this. We're working, but we're also having fun and learning about the industry, learning about the business, and learning about something new every day. So, I mean, it's kind of like, you do something that is work. I mean, it's something that you love doing rather than working someplace where you absolutely do not like, you just don't enjoy.
Yeah.
So I think that's something I would rather. I mean, I won't deny you do have to go through the hard, the uncomfortable stuff, the boring stuff, but the payoff is always more. It's definitely worth it at the end of it, the end of the day.
Yeah,
That's my 2 cents.
I agree.
Yep. And also for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, big fan. I surprised I don't have a lot of merch around my room. I mean, you can kind of see behind me. I have like mostly Sonic stuff and video games and Mario. Those are kind of my big
I see Keith on your
obsessions.
wall.
Ah, yeah, yep. Like that was from a while ago.
So
But
great,
yeah,
isn't he? He's such a sweet guy. I love him.
yeah, I do have more signatures, but I don't know where they are. But yeah, I mean, like, I just love his work on like Miraculous Ladybug and also Sonic, of course. Hunter x Hunter, I've been getting into that. His performance as Hisoka, I think that's his
Hisoka,
name.
yeah.
Hisoka, yeah, like, oh
It's
man,
so it's great. It's so
dude,
great.
it's just like, it's that type of character that's just okay. How can I describe it?
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable, but he just has so much fun doing it. And that's what makes a great villain, in my opinion. Like, if
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about storytelling and villains, like I would do like a whole different podcast of what makes a great villain, which I should do honestly. But yeah, it's so great. I think I have Tony Oliver like underneath, and I also have
Tony
other.
Tony's the one who's directing me in Beyblade.
Oh yeah, like Bang Zoom. Is
Mm-hmm.
that the studio? Okay,
Yep,
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I think I took a class with Tony, and I also did like I met him in person, and just a sweet guy, just super nice. And speaking of conventions, I just went to WonderCon, which was like that was the first one that I've been to since COVID hit, and I started doing like a lot of more in-person stuff, after the pandemic. And yeah, WonderCon is a lot of fun, and it reminds me I just really miss going to cons and just meeting people and making friendships and meeting with them and learn advice, and it's just a lot of fun and getting to see all these amazing you know people that dress up and cosplays doing it professionally, and it's just really nice to go to a convention because it allows you to really immerse yourself into the nerd geek culture, which is what I really love doing. So, yeah, that's why I just really like going to cons and stuff like that.
Same.
So, I
Yep.
just, yeah, I. What have been your favorite ones? Because I know there was HaberCon, but any other
Yeah,
ones that come to
I've
mind?
been to like over 100, but I
Mm-hmm. Wow,
I
I've
I had
noticed.
fun. Yeah, I think some of my favorites, Animazement. Animazement was they treated us so well, and oh, it was really nice. There's also Colossal Con, all of those
I've
Colossal
heard
Cons.
good
They're
things
the
about that.
party cons, like those are fun. Um, yeah, oh, there's too many to even list, but those are, if I had to choose two, those would be my two favorites so far. I know there's more. There's more, but
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
I've only been to the ones like local in LA, like Anime Expo. There's the Comic
Oh, Anime
Cons and
Expo is
yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
so crowded. I
It
hate it. But man, the exhibit hall's really cool. But wow, like you can't even make it into a panel because the lines stretch for hours.
yeah.
It's a it's just too much. There's just so many people.
I know. Yeah,
Like it's to the point where the line to even enter the building is like 3 hours long, 3 to 5 hours long, and you can't bring drinks inside. You can't, so of course people are in the waiting outside in the heat and passing out, and it's just awful.
yeah. I think San Diego Comic Con is the same, which I never got because they always sell out tickets and it's expensive. I mean, LA is expensive in general, so
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I like the smaller ones. Like, there's Anime Impulse, there's like Anime Los Angeles, um, at least the ones where you can actually walk around and move freely. And,
Yeah. And I like
there's
Anime
more
Impulse.
space. Yeah.
Yeah, Anime Impulse. I love. I guested there a while back. I enjoyed myself, and I love
Yeah.
their marketing. I don't know. There's just something about the way they do things that I just love. It's
Hmm.
just the
Yeah.
aesthetic they have going
It has
on.
this nice spaceship aesthetic on their websites.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so
I like
nice.
it.
Yeah. I mean, look at me. I just like space stuff. So, but yeah, like it's just really cool that you've been getting a lot busier. You've been working on all these different projects and and the side gigs that you've been getting. So I don't want to ask what's been your absolute favorites, but instead, what are some of the most er, actually, I got a good one. What are some of the most like challenging roles that you've ever done so far? Like
Challenging.
emotionally, physically, just is in general.
Huh. Challenging. I mean, I voiced for Silver Sable in Marvel Avengers Academy, and for that
Oh, nice.
I had to do the Slavic dialect. Um, that was a challenge for me because wasn't quite prepared for that. Just
So,
note to you guys, don't do that. If you're gonna submit for a character that needs to use a dialect, don't.
so I take it that dialects or accents are still something that you're still working on.
Oh
Like,
yeah, definitely still working on it, and
I don't want to say
I'm not really
weakness
doing a lot of
because,
that nowadays either, but but I booked that role and I didn't really expect to book it. So that was they needed the lines within like 2 days and wow. So
yeah,
that
I
was
really
quite a
do be
challenge
like
for
that.
me.
Yeah.
But it went well though. I think it worked out for in the end.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if people seem to enjoy it, then thumbs up. And what are some of the ones that you consider to be like, oh, actually, I think I messaged you in email. What are some of the projects that you've worked on that left a significant impact, like professionally, personally, and or just like some of the ones that you can say that you could look back on, or you can even say the stuff that you're working on now, and you're like, you know what? This is why I really love doing this. Just giving performances and just really doing the best that I could possibly do. And this is why I just love acting that made you fall in
I
love with it in the first place.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, every role I get to do is a huge blessing. So, uh, but I think the one show that really sticks out is a show called Kase-san and Morning Glories. Um, it's really wholesome and sweet, and I love it. And it's just for me, it's very relatable. It's very I I don't want to get too into it because I'll get emotional, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
quite a beautiful movie, really. I worked on that at Sentai Filmworks, David Wald. Man, it's just it was fun to record, and it means a lot to me. I'll just say that much. It reflects a piece of my life in a way that I never thought any show would. uh so yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that and let everyone else draw their conclusions to that.
All right. Yeah, that seems like a yeah, pretty good answer, you know? Like it's always it's so therapeutic to find a role that just connects so much to people, not just to the audience, but also to yourself. And there's just this special feeling that you get when you really emotionally connect yourself to a character in a way that no one else would really quite replicate or really quite like I don't want to yeah just it's just a unique character that is so you. So besides that, what are some of the other roles that you say that you're the most like the characters or the roles that are like very much you, like they kind of reflect your personality, and like that you also find yourself getting you find like a really good attachment to? It could be physical, emotional, or just personal. I mean, you don't have to disclose anything, but yeah, just any characters that you also find to be just,
Um, well,
compelling. Yeah.
I would definitely resonate with Kasai-san. But oh my gosh, I mean, here's the thing: I voiced for over 200 character roles, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pull up my own resume just to look at it. Um, actually, I might just have to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I might have to do that actually. Um,
Nothing wrong with that.
oh yeah, there was it's a lot, okay, guys. um, I'm proud of all the work I've done, especially Moraha and Yashahime. My performance in that I'm very proud of. It's the character was so much fun. Moraha's hilarious. She's just like a father. She's just like him. Inuyasha. It's lot of what an honor to work on such an iconic franchise, you know. So that show means a lot to me. And that was for Viz Media, and I'm honored that they chose me for that role because that's a role I don't usually get to play. So that was incredible for me. Um, yeah, so that's definitely that's high on the list. There's also Love Live Sunshine. I voiced for Yoshiko, and she's a hoot. Uh, she's it just I relate heavily to that character as well. I feel the main message that she stands for is be your shining self. Be who you want to be. Don't let others tell you like how to live your life. You're not hurting anyone. You're just wearing what you want to wear, being who you want to be, being your best self. Keep doing that. And I love that message. So that definitely resonates with me as well. Um, and of course, there's various other shows that I'm blessed to be a part of. Pokemon, Twilight Wings. I voiced for the lead in that, Tommy. I got to be a Pokemon trainer, and I grew up with Pokemon. That was my first obsession ever as a child,
Wow.
you know, and so being a part of that world is amazing as well. And uh yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, totally. Any other like media that you? I know you said TMNT, Pokemon, but what are some of the other ones that you grew up with? Out of
Ooh,
curiosity.
well, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, um,
Man,
yeah, but I didn't have cable, so there were some shows
the
that some kids grew
OG.
up with that I did not grow up with.
Oh yeah, to be fair, same. I don't think I had Kids WB until like, oh, rest in peace, Kids WB and Toon Disney. You know, like I had Toon Disney, but I did not have. I don't think I had WB. But anyways, yeah, I was a Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon kid, growing up. But yeah, like I started watching Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And, like when I got older, and then other shows came into my life, like Cowboy Bebop, My Hero, Fully Cooley, Evangelion, um, and I'm watching Hunter x Hunter right now, which is so good. Like everybody is like,
It's
I
so
do
good.
recommend both sub and dub. Um, and I mean, I just like both. I'm not gonna get into the whole. Do you prefer the sub or the? I just no.
You should like what you like without people trying to
Exactly.
tear it down, you know?
Yeah, that's like. I'm just gonna leave it at that because I would go on a tangent. But let me see. No, I think that's about it. Was there anything else? I did not mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, that's okay. I can't really think of anything else, honestly.
Okay, that's good. Oh, cool, cool, cool. And also for your songwriting, yeah, like, was that something that you've been doing as long as acting?
Longer, honest.
Longer. Oh,
I've been
okay.
working on music since I was a kid and writing lyrics
Yeah,
since I was in middle school. So I've been doing that for a bit.
yeah. Is that also something that you? Because I know you have your YouTube channel, which is over like, let me see. Oh wow, it's 9 million views. So, of course, it's over 9,000. You know, yeah, you got over 9 million views, which is insane. Like being a professional recording artist, and you know, and juggling alongside VO work. Like, how do you balance between the two?
Oh, well, honestly, I kind of tend to focus on one thing at a time. That's why I haven't uploaded any music lately because I'm focusing on voiceover and directing and casting.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like, and I actually do have a question about that. So since you've directed projects before, like, do you prefer do you prefer acting or do you just like the experience of getting to work with other actors and really getting the best out of them? So essentially, how's the experience, being on the other side of the glass?
Hmm. Well, my experience on the other side of the glass. I don't know. I feel like it comes naturally to me, honestly. When you've been doing this for as long as I have, the direction, what you need to pull out of the actor, the words you need to tell them to get that out of them just kind of happens, I guess. I don't know. I'm bad with words, but
No, no,
I
dude,
when it
same
comes to
here.
like describing it, that is, but like I don't know. I've worked with various directors for decades now, acting and voiceover. And I feel like I grab a just I take different directing styles from all the directors I've learned from.
So crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just take those ideas for myself and just make it my own, really.
Yeah. What are some of the biggest challenges and hurdles to overcome working as a full-time actress or working as a full-time VO, artist?
Hurdles, making time for everything.
Yeah, challenges and
Time
hurdles. Yeah.
management. Time management is tough.
Wow. Preach. Yeah. Oh, was
Yeah.
there anything else?
Can think of, but hey, if anyone's watching us, feel free to look me up on social media. You can find me at the Morgan Berry. I also have a website, themorganberry.com.
Right on. Let me see. Any upcoming stuff? I know you mentioned a couple, but anything that you want to announce that is not under wraps at the moment?
Not under NDA. There's some
Yeah.
stuff that I can't talk about yet, but the newest
Uh,
stuff I can talk about, I already mentioned at the start. Beyblade Burst Quad Strike is on Disney XD. Feel free to check it out. And then what was the Dead Mount Death Play. That's right.
yes.
How could I forget that? Like I literally got to announce that a few days ago. Feel free to check it out. Episode 2 is going to be airing soon, the dub. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm excited.
Congrats, by the way.
Thank you.
Um, and any last piece of advice that you want to close us out on?
Advice, voiceover advice, life advice.
It it's up to you. Pretty
Okay.
much in general.
I'll give some life advice. Going off of what I mentioned earlier, live your life. Don't change for other people. Be yourself because life is just so much better when you're free to be you. Just so don't let other people influence you
Preach.
any other
Yeah.
way. So that's my life advice for you guys.
Yep. And for your VO classes, that was just something that you've just done for like a long time. But what do you really get the most out of it? What do you really enjoy from teaching other, students and actors and
I just really like educating people. I used to teach
educations? Yep.
theater and I was also a children's minister for quite a few years. And I don't know, I like educating. I just wish that teachers were paid better.
True.
Yeah. But I mean, I like helping people and I know I see that children are the future, and like,
Oh yes.
but also like I work with adults all the time as well. I just really like helping people. And there's just
Me too.
yeah, and there's just a lot of there's a lot of scams out there for when it comes to voiceover coaching, a lot of scams. And I see them out there and I cringe and I'm like, there's only so much I can do to warn people about the red flags, what to look out for. And so I was like, you know what? I've taught acting for years now. And I have the resources, I have the curriculum to teach voiceover. Why don't I just do that? And with the pandemic, everyone's going virtual. I could teach virtually. And so I decided to start doing that. And now I'm able to reach people and warn people about the things to look out for in this industry. And I can legitimately help people before they get their foot in the door so that they're ready when that opportunity presents itself to them.
Of course. And would you like to do an outro for the
Sure. What kind of outro should I do?
My name is Morgan Berry. I do VO. You've heard me on blah blah blah. And thanks for watching Station Square podcast. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay. Hi guys, my name is Morgan Berry. I'm the voice of Moroha and Yashahime, 13 in My Hero Academia, Madame Charlie in One Piece, and various others. And I'm excited to be here. You are watching Station Square. Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah. Check her out. Thank you so much, Morgan. This has been a huge pleasure. Definitely a lot of fun, and this video will be going up at some point in the upcoming week. Time management, like we talked about earlier. But anyways, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. This is Robert Jackson signing out, and until then, stay creative, stay healthy, and punch every day in the face. Love you, Brad. Brad Storm, my friend. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next time. See you. Sayonara. Peace. Bye.